Emily sneered at me and said, "Thanks for quitting." I met her gaze, silently staring back without a word. "It's about cutting labor costs. We don't need a hag who exploits overtime pay at our company," she added, clearly pleased with herself. Tom seemed satisfied, too. A week later, I received a call from the company. As soon as I picked up, the president's voice came through the line. "Who exactly are you?" he demanded. I laughed mockingly at his words. "I'm Lily Johnson," I replied. "I turned 59 this year and have been working at this company for 37 years since graduating from college. Our company employs administrative scriveners, social insurance labor consultants, and tax accountants to handle clerical work for our clients. This is particularly popular with company presidents who run their businesses alone and lack time for administrative tasks. We take care of those tasks for them." I worked in the tax department. I had earned my bookkeeping and tax accountant qualifications during college, which is why I joined the company in the first place. Currently, I manage 45 clients, which keeps me extremely busy. Although a part-timer helps with the accounting entries, the workload is still overwhelming. However, I refuse to show any weakness. Our clients have been with us for a long time, and many have faced their fair share of hardships. Seeing them deal with adversity motivates me not to give up. So, here I am, sitting in front of my computer again today. Lately, I've been troubled. Tom and Emily have been subjecting me to insidious harassment. Tom, who is 7 years younger than me, is the head of the tax department. He used to be just a regular colleague, but his attitude changed drastically 3 months ago when he got promoted. He used to speak politely, but suddenly, he started talking down to me. "Lily, what are you doing? You've got some nerve slacking off during work hours," he'd say, always either sarcastic or complaining. "I'm looking at documents for tax-saving strategies for our clients," I would retort, but Tom remained unfazed. "Just check the manual for that. Don't do anything unnecessary, and if you end up working overtime, don't expect to get paid for it." Tom glared at me, his words filled with disdain. Unable to respond, I turned to Emily, Tom's assistant. She chimed in, "Lily, you should work more efficiently. At this rate, you'll never finish. That's why you're still a rank-and-file employee." Emily laughed mockingly. I was the first to be offered the promotion to department head, but I declined at the time. Taking the head position meant more management responsibilities and less interaction with clients. However, this was an internal offer, so Tom and Emily don't know about it. "I'll make sure to complete my regular duties as well," was all I could manage to say. Still, Tom and Emily's harassment continued. "You're increasing overtime again? What a waste." Tom's angry voice echoed through the office. "Lily, cut it out. Your constant overtime is dragging down the whole tax department's performance." Emily sighed. The reason for yesterday's overtime was simple. Tom had accumulated a month's worth of declaration forms that needed to be filed by the end of the month. After work yesterday, Tom suddenly said, "Take care of these," and left several client files on my desk. I turned pale when I saw the files. "Wait, these all have deadlines this month, right?" I asked, confused. By then, Tom was already nowhere near. Looking for him, I saw he was already packing up at his desk. "I'm heading out. Take care," he said and quickly left the office. "Good luck." Emily followed Tom out, laughing mockingly. Unbelievable. I sighed and opened the client files left on my desk. Moreover, some of the files were Emily's responsibility. I sighed even deeper. I knew why Tom was harassing me. They wanted me to retire quickly. I have more experience and deeper knowledge of taxation than he does. So other members of the tax department come to me with their questions instead of Tom. There are other reasons why everyone avoids Tom. He looks greasy and unapproachable, and the only female employee who stays near him is Emily. Tom likes young women, which is probably why he wants me to retire, so the other female employees will rely on him more. It's such shallow thinking. It gives me chills. There's also the fact that he simply doesn't like me. Emily was harassing me to curry favor with Tom. Tom evaluates the performance of the tax department, so she probably wanted to undermine me to get a good evaluation from him. Anyway, I have to manage these declarations. Not only do I have to prepare the tax declarations for my assigned companies, but it looks like I won't be able to finish today's work either. But if I try to claim overtime, I resign myself to the prospect of unpaid overtime, knowing I'd only get complaints from Tom and Emily. Then, one day, I was suddenly called into the president's office. Our company had just undergone a change in leadership. The president's father, who had managed the company since its founding, had recently fallen ill and handed it over to his son. The new president had worked elsewhere and wasn't fully familiar with our operations yet, but he had little choice in the matter. "Excuse me," I said as I entered the president's office. I noticed Tom and Emily were already there, both with unpleasant smirks on their faces. "Why are Tom and Emily here?" I muttered quietly to myself. In this tense and strange atmosphere, the president spoke. "Lily, we'll need you to resign by the end of this month." "Excuse me? What do you mean?" I asked, my mind spinning. "I've heard from Tom and Emily that you've been overbilling for overtime," the president explained. "Other members of the tax department only have about 15 hours of overtime per month, but you're already over 80 hours. Don't you find that odd? Tom and Emily have 0 overtime this month. Impressive, right?" He looked at me sternly. The reason my overtime was so high this month was that I was doing Tom and Emily's work. But if I said it was Tom's instructions, it would make me seem incapable of managing my own time. So I just stated the facts. I haven't overbilled for overtime. It's a result of not being able to finish my work within regular hours. The president sighed deeply. "I'm doubtful, but there's no evidence, so I won't pursue it further. However, we can't continue to employ someone who works that slowly, so I want you to resign." The president seemed to have made up his mind. I was being asked to leave the company I had dedicated my entire 37-year career to. I felt exhausted. No matter how much extra work I did, it was never appreciated. Instead, I ended up taking on Tom and Emily's tasks as well. "Yes, I understand. I'll resign at the end of this month," I found myself saying to the president. I glanced at Tom and Emily, who were smiling smugly, clearly pleased with the outcome. After leaving the president's office, Emily looked at me and said, "Thanks for quitting," sneering as she met my gaze. I silently stared back at her. Tom gave me the same condescending look. "We're cutting labor costs. We don't need a hag who exploits overtime pay at our company," he added, clearly pleased with himself. While watching the two of them chatter cheerily, I thought about the handover process and began creating the handover documents for all my clients. Of course, I didn't miss saying goodbye to the people I was handing over to. For the clients I couldn't meet in person, I sent letters informing them of my successor. A week after I resigned, I was finally relaxing at home. I had been busy with the handover until my last day and had been extremely busy even before that. A little relaxation seemed well-deserved. Just as I was thinking this, my mobile phone rang. The call was from the company. What could they want now? I made sure to take care of the social insurance procedures. I didn't answer the phone initially, but then the company called several more times. In fact, I had also received several calls from Tom and Emily's personal mobile phones. Perhaps they thought I'd answer if the call came directly from them. Reluctantly, I decided to pick up. "Hello? Lily, it's a mess right now." As soon as I answered, the president's voice came through. "Who exactly are you?" I laughed mockingly at his words. "Who am I? Just an unemployed lady. I've resigned from the company. and I'm nothing else right now. The president spoke urgently. Since you left, we've had 49 calls to stop transactions with the company. Please come back immediately. He finished speaking and hung up. He must be really panicked. I guess I have no choice. I got up reluctantly and headed to the company. As soon as I arrived, I saw Tom and Emily waiting. Their faces were pale, and they both had dark circles under their eyes. "What's wrong with both of you?" I asked, surprised at their drastic change in appearance. Tom glared at me. "Since you left, we've been getting calls one after another to stop transactions, not just from your clients, but from prospective companies we were planning to introduce. What did you do?" Emily looked at me with suspicion. I never thought Lily would do something so underhanded. I'm truly disillusioned. The reason they both looked so haggard was probably due to dealing with all the cancellations. Of course, I hadn't done anything to the clients, but I had a guess why they were canceling their transactions. Well, the cancellations might be unavoidable this time, I muttered. Tom yelled, "So you did do something, didn't you? Get to the president's office now." He took me to the president's office. "President, I brought her," Tom declared forcefully as he opened the door. Emily followed quickly behind him. "Oh, I've been waiting," the president said, looking me in the eyes. Tom accused me as if I were the culprit. "It appears that Lily was involved in the cessation of transactions with our clients. We should not only make her resign but also sue her for damages," Emily argued vehemently, though she spoke carefully in front of the president. Ignoring them, the president turned to me and asked, "Why did so many companies stop doing business with us after Lily left?" The president looked at me intently, waiting for an explanation. I took a deep breath and answered clearly, "Don't you understand? Our clients didn't need us just to manage their taxes. There are plenty of tax accountant firms that do it cheaper. They stayed with us because I was here." Tom snapped at me. "What's with that attitude towards the president? You think you're worth that much?" Emily taunted. "There's no way it's because of Lily." The president looked serious as I explained. "Tom and Emily work based on the manual, optimizing operations, but I do more than that. I offer tax-saving strategies tailored to each client's situation. Uniform responses don't always serve the client's best interests. Many clients preferred my approach and stayed because of it." Tom was furious. "How can we afford to give such detailed attention to each case? It takes too much time." "That's right. It's inefficient," Emily agreed emphatically. The president sighed deeply and said, "Actually, I just got a call from my dad, the former president. Some of the clients who stopped transactions contacted him directly to discuss the situation with Lily." I was surprised to hear this. I hadn't expected the clients to go that far for me. Dad said that the tax department was viable because of Lily. She not only managed her clients but also supported her colleagues' clients. She has knowledge that Tom can't match. Dad also mentioned that if Lily hadn't declined, she would have been in a higher position than department head by now. The president spoke with a pained expression. No way," Emily said, looking shocked. She probably couldn't believe that I might have been her boss. The president continued, "I'm really sorry for asking you to resign, but can we revoke your resignation? Lily, you're needed at our company." My father also insisted strongly. I was honestly happy about the president's change of heart, but I couldn't accept his offer immediately. Then Tom interrupted our conversation. "President, what do you mean she's better than me? I can't accept this." Tom was visibly upset. Emily protested as well. "Tom is a wonderful boss who cares for his subordinates, and yet you choose Lily over him? That's unacceptable." The president looked sternly at them. "Actually, since Lily resigned, we've received numerous complaints from the tax department. You two seem to have been pushing your work onto others, haven't you?" "What? Why would you?" Tom's face turned pale. The president continued with a look of disgust. I've heard from the employees that you, Tom, have been assigning your client declaration forms to your subordinates, including Emily's work for many clients. Standing next to Tom, who was getting paler, Emily trembled as her name was mentioned. There was also a report that you've been pushing your work onto Lily until she resigned. You were calling her a salary thief, but it seems the roles were reversed, weren't they? The president sighed. No, that's not. Tom was visibly flustered, unable to come up with an excuse. Observing Tom and Emily turning pale together, the president continued. Also, there was a report that you two are in a relationship. You were often seen leaving work together. But, Tom, you're married, aren't you? The president glared at Tom and Emily. I was just mentoring Emily as her superior. Nothing inappropriate. Tom struggled to find the words. The president produced several receipts. These are receipts questioned by the accounting department. These dining expenses filed by Tom. Who were they with? Certainly not clients, right? Tom was sweating profusely, unable to speak. Emily's face turned ghostly pale. Tom and Emily, you've neglected your duty and inflated expense claims. Plus, you're having an affair in the office despite being married. According to company policy, I'm terminating your employment as of today, the president told them calmly and straightforwardly. Tom and Emily tried to resist. Please wait. I'll retract the receipt claims. Just don't fire me. I have a family. Tom pleaded desperately. Emily did the same. Please. I don't want to be fired. I'll apologize to Lily and the others for offloading work on them. She was on the verge of tears, realizing the severity of being fired for neglecting work and having an affair with a supervisor. She must have been worried about her reputation. I advised them, why don't you just stop resisting? It's undignified. Tom glared at me. Shut up. What would a single person like you understand? I sighed and replied, Tom, you were the one who got me fired. It's just karma. What goes around comes around. Why don't you take some responsibility and reflect a bit? Damn it. Tom looked frustrated, and Emily bit her lip. And I haven't reported this yet, but there's more to Tom and Emily's misconduct. Should I share more details? I asked the president with a smile. Tom and Emily's behavior was well known in the tax department. Their stories had reached me, whether I liked it or not. No, please don't. Lily, stop. They both pleaded frantically, trying to stop me. I gave them an ultimatum. Wrongdoings eventually come to light. It would be better for you to face reality before it gets worse. At my words, both of them collapsed to their knees. Ultimately, Tom and Emily were fired on the spot. I revealed their misdeeds afterward, which included Tom faking business trips to spend time with Emily and harassing employees they disliked into quitting. I tried to help those employees, but Tom and Emily's tactics were insidious. They repeatedly reprimanded and pressured employees out of my sight. It was also common for them to suddenly assign work with tight deadlines. The employees who resigned had asked me to keep quiet, but now they are happily working at other companies, so I decided it was okay to speak up. The president was furious at my revelation. He expressed his anger about cutting their final salaries and planned to thoroughly investigate past inflated expense claims. Tom was begging the president, tears in his eyes, please don't cut my salary. What will I tell my family if they find out? Eventually, Tom and Emily's affair was exposed to Tom's wife, and he ended up getting divorced. The two are now facing claims for compensation in the divorce lawsuit. I know this because, for some reason, Tom contacted me. Please, can you persuade the president to reconsider the firing? Emily and I are in a real bind now. Apparently, Tom and Emily are struggling to find new jobs. The tax industry is somewhat insular, and if you commit too many misdeeds, word spreads quickly through the industry's network. That's why no one is willing to hire them. However, they need money for divorce compensation and living expenses. So now they're working day labor jobs. Like at construction sites, people used to office work suddenly doing hard labor outdoors must be tough. Emily often calls me crying, "Lily, please help. I just wanted a raise and a better life. I never really liked Tom, and this situation is unbearable," Emily would say, crying. However, Tom and Emily's predicament is their own doing. Many people, including myself, have been victims of their actions. So I told Emily, "This is all your own fault. Emily, you can't unring a bell. It will be hard to return to the same path. You're just going to have to deal with the hardships." "No way," Emily cried out in despair. This was the outcome of Emily's actions. I hope she continues to regret her actions in the future. As for me, I'm still enjoying a relaxed lifestyle away from work. The president has been begging me to return, but I have declined. After being told once to resign, I don't think I'll go back. Sometimes I help out at a friend's tax office to earn a bit of money. Maybe once things settle down, I'll start my own office like my friend. In my own office, no one can complain about my working style. I can fully dedicate myself to my clients. As a tax accountant, I want to be on equal footing with my clients, not as a teacher but as part of the service industry. My second life has just begun, and I'm looking forward to delving into what I want to do next.